All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. We've got big doubleheader going on. Of course, these matches play each other in the semis on Friday. We've already got one semi-final with Djokovic and Sinner. But Caboli and Ferry have just kicked off. We've got Fritz versus Zverev coming on in a second as well. 40-15 Caboli. All right, 40-15. As the return goes in the corner, Caboli shanks it. And it's 40-30. $40-30. $40-30. Noskova might take the whole thing. Yeah, she could. Definitely could. All right, nice serving. Caboli holds, and it's 1-all. Now, Fritz wearing his suit. And Zverev wearing his jacket. It's the normal jacket. Okay. By the way, I think Anna Winter's in the house. In the royal box! Which means we can cross her name off as well. Hang on, let me just... we have to cross the royal box names off first. Haven't done that yet. So we've got a royal family member and Anna Winter's in there too. So there you go. Cool. We're still nowhere close to bingo, but fine. It's fine. We've still got... we're getting closer. We just need Ed Sheeran to rock up and then we'll be great. It's not terrible for bingo. We're doing okay. Doing okay. All right, 30 love. Ferry serves a fault. Second serve. It could be worse. As that goes out by Caboli, 30-15. You know what? We might get bingo. We haven't changed any of the names. So we haven't gotten any of the names that have changed. So the original card still stands. We just need Idris Elba, Ed Sheeran to make an appearance. Or Virat Kohli and Adele. We're getting close. We're getting close. Anyways, forehand volley from Ferry is in the net and it's 30-all. Oh, no, sorry. That was Caboli. They're wearing the same outfits. 40-15. Caboli hits in the net. Ferry, 40-15. Have I ever watched... Did I get to watch He-Man? No, I didn't. It was a shame. I heard it was funny. But I didn't get to watch... didn't get to go to the cinema to watch that. All right. 40-15. There's a slice in the net from Caboli and Ferry holds 2-1. Zverev and Fritz are on the court. I'll tell you, I'd be interested to see which one of these two matches finish first. All right, 2-1 Ferry. And Ferry looks like he's already breathing very heavily. This is already taking a toll. All right. Zverev and Fritz are warming up. All right, Caboli serves again. We get a fault from Caboli, second serve. The return goes forehand of Ferry, and then, sorry, Caboli, and then Ferry puts it away. Love 15. Serve out wide, the backhand of Ferry. Caboli forehand to the front of Ferry. Is drop shot from Caboli's good, but Ferry's quick. And hits a slice, and then an easy volley winner. Ferry. Love 30. Love 30. What do I think of this off the World Cup? I don't know what somebody's saying. What do you mean? I love 30. Ferry, a chance to get the break. A fault from Caboli, second serve. There's a backhand return goes backhand of Caboli, forehand from Ferry. Into the backhand of Caboli. It's Ferry backhand. Into the forehand of Caboli again. Ferry up the line. Caboli gets it back with the backhand. Ferry backhand in the nets. And it's 15-30. All right. Fritz is going to serve first against Zverev. Even though Fritz has won the last 7, it's a 50-50 apparently. So we'll see. I mean, Zverev has been playing really well. What do I think of the World Cup? Yeah, it's been good. I love the World Cup. It's so much fun. All right, 30-year-old Caboli. Serve again. Into the forehand of Ferry. Caboli forehand to the backhand of Ferry. Ferry in the nets. 40-30. As Caboli serves again. Into the backhand of Ferry. Ferry in the net. Caboli holds. Tough hold. 2-2. Two all. All right, back to Ferry. RG finalists are going to play Roland Garros semis. Maybe. They could. As it a forehand out of the backhand of Caboli. And then Ferry with a bounce smash. Puts it away. 15 love. Caboli's overrated and very weak. Yeah, you said that already. And that's untrue. He is not overrated. Made a final of a Grand Slam already last month. He's a very solid player. Backhand rally. As that goes out by Ferry, and it's 15-0. It's packed on Hemman Hill. It's called Mount Everest. All right? Make sure you get that right. Mount Everest. Everest. Right? Make sure you all say that correctly. Mount Everest. Don't want anyone getting confused with calling it something else. 15 Osaka's in the net from Kaboli. All right, here we go, chap. Top 10 clash. As the first point goes to Fritz. He's serving first, 15-love. Zverev's worst nightmare. Sleep paralysis demon. And then on the grass, even worse. For Zverev, it's his worst nightmare. As Fritz serves an ace-down tee. 30-love. I feel like Fritz versus Zverev could go 5 and finish before a 4-set match between Kaboli and Ferry. I don't know. I feel like if we're going 5, we're probably going 5 on both courts, let's be honest. But I feel like Fritz Zverev is going to be at 5 sets, 3 hours. I don't think we're playing a long 5 setup. No 5 hours, midnight ends, all that kind of stuff. None of that. 40-love, Fritz with a second serve ace, because he can. All right, serve. Here's a fault, second serve. As the return goes out by Zverev. No, it went in, apparently. Hawkeye lied. It's Henman Hill forever? Never. It's Mount Everest. They're redeveloping it, so it's going to be Mount Everest. All right. Nice return of Zverev, 40-15. And 40-30. 40-30. As the return goes the forehand of Ferry. Backhand Kaboli to the backhand of Ferry. And it's Kaboli backhand again to the forehand of Ferry. Kaboli forehand of the stretch. Ferry. Again to the backhand of Kaboli. Ferry doing all the work here as Kaboli running side to side and eventually misses. 3-2. Lovely from Ferry. And he takes the lead. 3-2. Okay. 1-love Fritz in this first set. All right, 1-love Fritz. Zverev serves the backhand of Fritz. Return to the forehand of Zverev. Fritz backhand, cross court. Zverev gets it into the backhand of Fritz. Zverev backhand again to the backhand of Fritz. Up the line of the forehand of Zverev, and Zverev hits it in. Lovely shot, 15-love. Hey, thank you, Human, for becoming a member again. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. They need Henman Hill statue. No, see, it needs to be... If they're going to put a statue at Wimbledon, it's going to be Murray. Because Henman never won. Murray won. You can't put a statue of a guy who made the semis. Come on. It's got to be a Murray statue. And then call it Mount Everest. 30-love. It's Mount Everest, all right? 2026. The name gets updated every time. When you retire, you lose the name of the patch of grass, all right? The grass gets updated with active players, all right? And Drape hasn't been playing, so it's Mount Everest. After Emma Raducanu, British Grand Slam champion. 4-4 in rallies. That goes up the line to the backhand of Kaboli. Ferry backhand into the backhand of Kaboli again. It's Ferry with a forehand. Kaboli on the attack. Ferry pass. Volley from Kaboli in the net. It's love 15. Oh, Zverev's in trouble. 30-all. 30-all. Let the man have his hill. No. 30-all. He had the hill for 15 years. All right, backhand goes wide by Zverev. And Fritz has already got a break point. 30-40. 30-40. Well, Ferry's now the champion at the moment. So what's it called? Ferry's I don't know. Ferry's Field? Is that what it is? Ferry's Field? What are we calling it? As it a backhand down the line from Zverev is a winner, and it's deuce. All right, 30-15, Kaboli. Would you rather have a hill named after you or a Grand Slam? Obviously a Grand Slam. I'd rather have my name on a trophy than people naming a hill. All right. We get the deuce. Zverev serves a fault. Second serve. It's called Arthur's Seat, apparently. That's lame. All right. Kaboli holds, and it's 3-all. 3-all in the first set. Zverev, double fault advantage for Fritz. Advantage Fritz to take the early break here. All right, advantage Fritz. As Zverev serves. Served on the tee. Fritz hits it wide. Great serve, Zverev. Deuce. I love 15 for Kaboli. All right, love 15. Is it a backhand rally? Ferry into the backhand of Kaboli. It's Ferry backhand. It goes wide. Love 30, Kaboli. All right, advantage Zverev to get on the board. All right, advantage Zverev as he serves the forehand of Fritz. Fritz shanks it wide, and it's 1-1. 1-all. What was it called before Henman Hill? Who was the guy? Who was before Henman? Who was the British hope before Henman? Some of y'all must remember that. All right, love 30. As a lob goes over the top of Ferry, then he puts up a lob. Kaboli's going to hit a smash from the baseline. Ferry's back of the rally with a slice. Kaboli in control of the rally and hits it in the net. 15-30. Good hustle by Ferry. I don't think Fred Perry was the last person before Henman. That's like, there was definitely players between Fred Perry and Tim Henman. You're talking about 1940s Fred Perry, and then there was what? There was no British players for 60 years? Come on now. There must have been someone in the 80s that was British that played. They would have gotten wild cards every single year, at least. Come on, there must have been a British hope that's on the men's side. I know there was Virginia Wade, but come on. Can't be going, oh yeah, Fred Perry, and then no one for 60 years. Could be somebody. As Kaboli hits it wide, it's 30-all. Ferry trying to stay in front. Jeremy Bates, was he the last? Was he the one before? Was he the hope before Henman? All right, 15-30. Fritz in a little trouble here. John Lloyd and Jeremy Bates. Okay. See, I'm not up to date with tennis, with British tennis law. So you got to help me. I know Henman, and I know all the British, like Andy Murray stuff, but I don't know pre-90s British law, tennis law. As that goes the net by Fritz. Uh-oh. Break points for Zverev. 15-40. And break point for Kaboli. 30-40. It was always called the Hill until Henman came along. Okay. All right. Nice hitting from Kaboli. And a nice serve down the tee from Fritz. Return goes in, though, and then Fritz hits a backhand. It's in. Ooh, that was close. That was close. That was very close. Fritz survives 30-40. Almost hit it wide. All right. 30-40, backhand up the line. Into the forehand of Fritz. Forehand from Zverev. The forehand of Fritz up the line. To the backhand of Zverev. Sliced. Is it a backhand again from Fritz? Zverev backhand again to the backhand of Fritz. Zverev with his backhand to the forehand of Fritz. Zverev goes again to the backhand of Fritz. Zverev with the forehand slice. Fritz in control. Backhand cross court. Zverev slices it back. Fritz comes to the net but hits a drop shot in the net. And Zverev breaks first. 2-1. 2-1 Zverev. Okay. Advantage Ferry, by the way, as he hits a lovely backhand up the line. And Ferry holds 4-3. 4-3. All right. The British player who preceded Tim Henman as top ranked was Jeremy Bates, who was the British number 1 in the early 90s. I think I saw a documentary on him. Andrew Castle, who is a BBC tennis pundit. Was he... I'll tell you what I did notice, chat, while I was doing some research. Back in the... Because I was doing some research on wildcards, because I was bored. Apparently, Mark Petchey, back in the 90s, received 9 wildcards out of 11 years. And the other the 2 years that he didn't need them, he was in the top 100. He got 9 wildcards. Mark Petchey, the guy who's on TV, right? You know Mark Petchey, right? He's on Tennis Channel, right? He got 9 wildcards for Wimbledon. And then he didn't need them when in the mid 90s he didn't need them because he was in the top 100. But he got 9. He got so many wild cards. I want to know how. And before that, I'm looking here. Bates was before that in the 80s. Bates got a lot of wild cards, probably. And then Lloyd got a lot of wild cards as well. But who was Wilkinson? Because there was a guy called Wilkinson who got 9 wildcards in a row at Wimbledon back in the 90s. They were really trying to push him. Who was Wilkinson? He was getting a lot of wildcards. Also, Delgado, he got a lot of wildcards in the early 2000s. British wildcards. But who was Wilkinson back in the 90s? Was he somebody that were trying to pump up as the next great hope? Or was he just some random guy that just kept getting wild cards? Chris Wilkinson, yeah. Was he like the Andy Murray, like they were pumping him up like Andy Murray, or was he just like very fortunate that he kept getting wild cards and he was like, because he was getting he got 9 wild cards in a row, which tells me that he didn't make the top 100 for 9 years in a row. And had to get help by Wimbledon for 9 years in a row, 9 wildcards. That's a commitment. That is a commitment from the tournament. They really were trying to give him a chance. And he, unfortunately, just couldn't... well, I don't know if he didn't take it. I don't know. Did anyone remember him? All right, 40-15 on both courts. Caboli serving the forehand of Ferry, and Ferry hits a wide. Caboli shanks it wide, 40-30. By the way, this is actually, if for those who don't know, this is Ferry's 4th wild card in a row at Wimbledon. So he got wild cards from 2023 to now, and of course now he's gone on this run. But yeah, it's his 4th wild card at the championships. He might not need one next year because he'll be in the top 100, I think, after this. So he won't need one next year because his ranking will probably get him through unless he's not in the top 100. Where is he? Is he not in the top 100? He has to be top 100. No? Yeah, he's number 63. All right, 3-1 Zverev. Yeah, so next year, so now after this, I mean, and this is the thing, right? When we talk about wild cards, you know, we give them to Serena, we give them to Dimitrov, Wawrinka, right? All these players that, like, you know, their rankings aren't good enough, but the tournament is better to have them, right? But then you give it to a young local. And I know Ferry's not young. I think he's sort of mid-20s. But a local. And this is why you give it to a local, to have one of these runs, right? To see one of these fairy tales. No pun intended, right? And now, thanks to this wild card, just like, and I'll say with the Eala, when she got the wild card for Miami, that catapulted her into where she is now, right? It started with the wild card in Miami. She had wild cards before that, but she couldn't capitalize. But before that Miami wildcard that Eala had, she was more of a challenger level player. She was playing at challenges. She was grinding the circuit. But she gets that wildcard. She gets to the semis, and then her ranking follows that result. So that's what wildcards hopefully do for the young players, right? The unknown players. Is that you give them a wildcard, they get to a quarterfinal, they gain a lot of points, they inspire a nation, and then you get in the top 100 and you don't need a wildcard next time. So Ferry now will play the US Open, the Australian Open, and the French Open, and next year's Wimbledon, not needing any wildcards. He won't even have to play qualies. He'll get in straight away. So that's the benefit of, you know, the chance that they've given him, it's paid off, right? For him and for the tournament. Because, let's be honest, as soon as Draper and Raducanu pulled out, and when they didn't give Evans a wild card, we all thought, well, and then British players on day 1 and 2 were just getting murdered, right? They were just getting absolutely slaughtered. Ferry has given the nation some hope. And even if he doesn't win today, he's inspired. He's at least, you know, it's always good when the local does well, right? When Australians do well in the Australian Open, when the French do well at France. I mean, remember Kwame, he did great at the French in the first couple of days, and everyone was going nuts. When Americans do well, but they always do well at the US because there's so many of them. It's the Australians and the British that need help. We need help. But, yeah. All right. 5-4. Ferry comes back from a little bit of a deficit. But he's up 5-4 now. And Zverev's got the lead 3-2 with a break. Richard Krajicek is in the front row, former champion of this event back in the 90s when Sampras dominated. He stole one. I think he was one of the only players to steal a Wimbledon off Pete. All right, Cabali serving to stay in the set. As we just slice into the backhand of Cabali. Forehand from Ferry. Into the forehand of Cabali. Cabali hits it out. Love 15. Love 15. As Cabali serves again. And the backhand return goes into the forehand of Cabali. Ferry with a slice on the stretch. Cabali comes to the net. Ferry with a pass. Off the tape. Cabali hits it back in. And then Ferry with a pass. And then Cabali volleys it away. Cabali got lucky that time. 15-0. He got a little fortunate there, Cabali. 15-0. There was a bit of luck off the tape there. 15-0. All right, 15 love for Zverev as he tries to consolidate the break. All right, 15 all. Zverev with 30 love. Nice ace from Zverev. All right, 15 all. That goes out by Ferry, 30-15. $30-15. Hey, Horror Critic, thank you for the 37 months. Appreciate that. Thanks for sticking around. All right, 30-15 on both courts. As we just serve from Caboli in the back of the Ferry, but it's a let. As Caboli serves a fault second serve. As Zverev with a great serve, 40-15. As Caboli serves a let again. Backhand return goes in the forehand of Caboli. Forehand now from Ferry. Again, the forehand of Caboli is Ferry forehand up the line. Caboli with a slice in the net. It's 30-all. Chance for Ferry to maybe steal this set here. 30-all. There's a backhand return. Goes out by Fritz, and it's 4-2 Zverev in the first set here. 4-2 Zverev. How many lets are allowed? As many as you need. You can hit 100 lets if you need them, if you can. Or if you can. You can hit 1,000,000 lets. Unlimited lets. Unlimited lets. All right, 30-40, breakpoint Ferry to get it done. To take this first set, and the crowd love it. They're not on their feet because they're stuck to their chairs because they're melted into the chairs. It's too hot out there. All right, 30-40. As Caboli serves again. He serves a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the back of the Ferry. Return goes for Caboli. Caboli hits it wide. Ferry takes the first. 6-4. He steals it. First set in the bag for Ferry. The locals love it. AKA the whole stadium because they're all from the UK. Most of them. All right. First set to Ferry. All right. 40-15 for Fritz. 40-15 by the way. First set, not very pretty from Caboli. 8 winners, 16 errors. Ugh. 16 errors. Only the 2 break points, and the 1 break point Ferry took was the set point. So Ferry had 1 chance, 1 opportunity, and he didn't let it slip. Mum spaghetti. Not an Italian reference. All right. Fritz holds 4-3. Zverev with the break, though, in this first set. All right. All right. But Ferry getting the crowd going. It's coming home, or, I mean, it's already there. It's Wimbledon. It's in England. All right. All right. All right. Zverev 4-3 with a break. All right. Here we go. Let's see what Zverev can do here. He's got the early break. Let's see if he can keep it. Came home a while ago. Yeah, never left. Never left. Wimbledon was always in Wimbledon. Or always. The British Championships were always in the UK. All right. 15 love Zverev. What a lovely shot by Caboli. Love 30. Beautiful pass up the line. Love 30. Caboli wants an early break here. And 15 love for Zverev. As with a backhand from Zverev to the backhand of Fritz. Backhand Zverev again. The forehand of Fritz. Into the backhand is Zverev. As Fritz backhand again up the line. Fritz hits it long. Zverev 30 love. All right, 30 love. That's very double faults. Love 40. Caboli. Going to serve now down the tee, the backhand of Fritz. Very able to pick up in the net. And it's 30-15. Nice return from Fritz. By the way, to all those people who are saying that Fritz is not ready for this Zverev. Fritz beat this Zverev. He beat post Roland Garros Zverev last 2 weeks ago. He beat him in 3. So everybody's like, oh, well, Zverev's different now. Yeah, and Fritz played him in Halle and beat him in 3. He's played this guy. He knows this guy. So he has. What do you mean? He played Zverev literally 2 weeks after he won the French and beat him as well. Still beat him. As Zverev double faults, 30-all. All. And Zverev serves again. All right, Caboli got the break, by the way. 1 love. And so it goes out by Fritz on the return. Nice serve, Zverev. 40-30. It would be kind of weird if Zverev made the final of Wimbledon, right? Zverev in the final of Wimbledon was not on my card for this year. I thought, yeah, Roland Garros, maybe US Open. Wimbledon? Wimbledon finalist Sasha Zverev? Which means he's made the final of every slam? Not what I was thinking. It would be cool, but I'm very surprising. 40-30. If Zverev is in the final, I'd want him to play Djokovic. I think Djokovic-Zverev final would be really interesting. Would be more interesting than Sinner versus Zverev. But then again, post-slam Zverev might be, post-Sasha slam Sasha maybe might be, maybe he is different against Sinner. Is it going to be hot on Sunday? Let me know. Is it going to be hot on Sunday? Because then that might play a little bit of a factor. All right. Fritz serving to stay in the set. Backhand goes in the net by Fritz. Love 15. It's only been 1 break. Zverev's kept his serve. That's made the difference. 30-15 for Caboli here as we get a backhand now from Ferry. Into the back of Caboli. Up the line of the forehand of Ferry as Caboli forehand up the line. That's a great shot. 40-15. Caboli starting to settle in now as Fritz hits a good serve. It's 15-0. It's going to be 30? Okay. All right, serving to the forehand is Zverev. Zverev hits it out. 30-15. Fritz. 30-15. As Cobolli holds, 2-love. All right, backhand return goes in the net by Zverev. 40-15. Ugh, why am I so tired today? All right, Ferry trying to get on the board. As Zverev hits backhand to the forehand of Fritz. Zverev backhand to the backhand of Fritz. Into the slice is Zverev. Fritz with a forehand is a winner. All right, Zverev's going to have to serve for the set. 5-4. 5-4. Zverev and Kostyuk showing everyone how to make a deep run at the Challenge Slam. Yeah, but that makes me think. Is Wimbledon slow? Has Wimbledon gotten to the point where it's slow now that the French Open clay quarters can do really well? Like, I maybe it doesn't mean anything, but like, has Wimbledon gotten too slow then? Is it getting too similar to the French? Like, is it, like, I don't think Roland Garros is getting faster, but is Wimbledon slowed down that it gives players an opportunity like that? Is grass not, it's not supposed to be the same as the French. We're not supposed to have the same players. It's supposed to be a totally different lot of players. We'll have to wonder, well, we'll have to do some research. After the tournament, obviously. But like having Kostyuk, and look, it's not like Kostyuk and Zverev don't have a game for grass, but like going to Wimbledon and playing after Roland Garros, is it a little easier these days? Is it easier to get to like transition onto the grass? I mean, and look at Cobolli too, right? Cobolli made the French Open final, and now he is into a quarterfinal of Wimbledon. You're like, okay, why are we seeing a lot of the same names? Obviously, we'll see Sinner and Djokovic and Alcaraz, right? We're used to that, but then again, Andreeva lost, right? Felinska lost, but she obviously was a bit of a wild card anyway, and random, to get into the French Open final, let alone Wimbledon. I don't know. Something to think about when the tournament's said and done, and we'll see if the French Open lineup looks similar. Because I'm sure that back in the day, it never looked like that. It was always 4 totally different players going from Roland Garros to Wimbledon. And I'm not saying back in the day, I'm saying 90s, right? I'm not saying like, oh, back in the 2010s. No, because that was the same guys every time. All right, 15 love. Because if that is the case, right? If there is proof, right? Proof that Wimbledon is now slow enough that the French Open players that do well at the French can win Wimbledon. Then it kind of devalues the Channel Slam, right? Like the Channel Slam doesn't become as impressive. Yes, it's still impressive, but if it's not as impressive as like Borg doing it, right? If it's a little bit easier because it's easier to like make that switch, it might, it's still a very impressive feat and it's very hard to do, but it might be a little easier than it was, 20, 30, 40 years ago. All right, Zverev. 15-0. All right. As Fritz, 15-30 here. Chance to possibly get. Back on serve. As we're 4 now from Fritz on the stretch. Deep into the back of Zverev. Fritz to the backhand. Again to the back of Zverev. Into the backhand of Fritz. As Zverev backhand again to the forehand of Fritz. Into the backhand of Zverev. As Fritz gets the break points. Zverev overhits it. 15-40. All right. 15-40 Fritz. As Zverev serves. An ace. One saved. 30-40. Kaboli's got the break in the second. 30-15. As Kaboli double faults. 30-all. All right, 30-40. Still break point for Fritz to get back on serve. As a return now from Fritz. Goes long and Zverev survives. With a couple of serves. Deuce. Now we get to deuce. All right. Advantage Zverev. Set point to take the first set. And breakback point for Ferry to get back on serve. All right, serve again from Zverev. There's a fault second serve. That's Kaboli with a forehand going into the forehand of Ferry. What a shot by Ferry. Ferry breaks back. We got 2-0 in the second. Great aggression from Ferry. All right, advantage Zverev to take the first set here. Zverev with the serve. Into the forehand of Fritz. Fritz in the net. There it is. Zverev takes the first 6-4. Only one break, but that's all you need when you've got Zverev and Fritz serving. The one break is all that it takes. All right. 6-4. All right. Kaboli's back on serve. He's given back the break as we get a 4 now from Ferry. Into the backhand of Kaboli. Ferry with the backhand again. The backhand of Kaboli. Into the backhand of Ferry, but that goes out by Kaboli and it's 15-love. All right, 4 break points for Fritz. Only 2 for Zverev, and Zverev broke. Fritz didn't. 12 winners, 7 errors from Zverev. 8 aces as well. 82% of first serves in. Zverev is serving amazing, and that's why he couldn't be broken. And Fritz, he could be serving better. He's only serving 54% of first serves in. And 4 aces, but yeah, Zverev is serving at a ridiculously good rate, which is credit to Fritz for getting some break points to get back on serve, but yeah, Zverev is serving so well. Didn't give Fritz a chance. But I'm sure Fritz won't be bothered by that because he knows that he can beat Zverev and he's done from 2 sets to love down here. So he knows he can come back from a deficit against Zverev. He's done it many a time. As Ferry hits it in the net on the slice and it's 15-all. 15-all. All right, serve again from Ferry. As the return goes to forehand to Ferry. Drop shot is really good by Ferry. Beautiful shot. 30-15. Such a smart shot. All right. Fritz serving first in the second. 15 love. All right. Ferry serves a fault. Second serve. What's my quarterfinal predictions for the World Cup? I don't know. Why are you asking me? As with a 4 in the net by Ferry. 30-all. Big chance for Caboli to get back the break again. Get the break again. As with a backhand from Fritz into the forehand is Zverev. Fritz with the forehand is long. 15-all. All right, 30-all. As Ferry comes to the net, up goes a lob by Caboli. Ferry with a smash. Caboli gets it back with a forehand up the line to the backhand of Ferry. Drop shot is good. Caboli gets it. Volley from Ferry is too good. And it's 40-30 Ferry to get the lead. Yeah, England is my prediction. Go England. It's coming home. All right, Fritz. 30-all. He's in trouble here. 30-all. That's a bit of serve from Fritz. There's a fault. Second serve. That's Caboli. Tries to go for a winner. Completely misses. And it's 3-2. 3-2 Ferry. Caboli complaining about the sun. Okay. 30-all here. It's Fritz serving. First game of the second. As the return goes in the forehand of Fritz, backhand out from Zverev. It's Fritz backhand again, the backhand Zverev. Up the line to the forehand of Fritz. Zverev. Forehand up the line is a winner. Beautiful shot, Zverev. 30-40. Zverev came to play. Great shot. I'm hoping to watch Norway versus England in Miami bar. If I recover from a head cold. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. But I'll probably be... Oh, no, it'll be after... When is that? All right. Deuce. As Fritz goes to the back in his Zverev. Zverev in the net. Advantage Fritz. Advantage Fritz. Even if Ferry wins, can he beat the next guy? No, but it's good for British business. Why does everyone do that? Why do people do that? Why do people do that? Why do you do that? Who cares? Can he beat the next guy? Who cares? He's winning now. Like, this is impressive now. Like, who cares? Can Ferry win the semis? Shut up. Let the people have their win, all right? Let them enjoy it. Some idiot was saying that the other day. I don't know who it was. He was like, oh, Cam, if you beat Egypt, you're going to lose to Argentina. So? If we beat Egypt, we would have had a great time. Who gives a stuff about the next match? If Ferry wins, let the people enjoy. And that forehand goes wide by Caboli, 15-all. As with a forehand from Fritz in the forehand, it's Zverev. Fritz just trying to get off to a better start, and he does. 1-love, Fritz, in the second. As with a backhand rally. Up the line to the forehand of Ferry. Forehand from Caboli. Again to the forehand of Ferry. Ferry missed it. 30-15. All right, 15:30 for Ferry. Wait, hang on, what? Ferry 15:30. How'd that happen? What'd I miss? Why is the tournament director out on court? Not going to close the roof, are they? 15:30. Serve. Into the forehand of Ferry. Ferry hits it wide. Okay. Caboli's in the bottom of the... Okay. They're both wearing hats. God, I can't wait till Wimbledon's over so I don't get confused. 30 all. As Caboli serves. A fault. As a return goes out by Ferry, and it's 40-30 Caboli. As Zverev comes in with a forehand, Fritz to the pass. Oh, it goes long. 30 love. Taylor Zverev is serving very, very well today. Who's my pick? I picked Caboli in 4 and Fritz in 5, I think. I think that's what I picked. How do I feel about Coco Gauff? We love Coco Gauff. She's awesome. 40-30 Caboli. As Ferry returns back in Caboli. Caboli goes wide. And it's deuce. As Zverev with another good serve. He comes to the net. Fritz with the pass. That's a winner. 30-15. I tell you, Zverev is kind of serve botting at the moment. Deuce as Caboli serves. And ace down the tee. All right, advantage Caboli. Advantage Caboli. As we serve again from Zverev. A fault. Second serve. All right, Caboli serves another ace. And he levels at 3-3. As Zverev serves. Into the backhand of Fritz. Return the backhand of Zverev. Fritz. Backhand to backhand with Zverev. Now Zverev up the line to the front of Fritz on the stretch. Fritz in the net. 40-15. And Zverev just going for it a little more than Fritz. 40-15. All right, serve again. Into the backhand of Fritz. Fritz in the net, and Zverev holds. 1-1. Again, Zverev unbreakable at the moment. 1-all. All right, 3-all here as Ferry comes to the net. Caboli passing shot wide. All right, 15 love. As the return goes to the front of Ferry. 4 now from Caboli. As Ferry goes up the line at the back of Caboli. Ferry now hits a backhand into the slice of Caboli. Into the front of Ferry as Caboli then hits it in the net. 30-15. Uh, 30 love. As Zverev with a slice goes long. No, it goes in. Fritz gets it back. Slice from Zverev again as Fritz into the front of Zverev. To the front of Fritz. As Zverev with a backhand cross court goes wide this time. It's 30 love Fritz. We get to 40 love for Ferry. Ferry plays very quick service games too. He does not muck about. Great serve down the tee, Ferry. All right, 4-3 Ferry in the second. Caboli's got to be real careful. I bet Mertens is a loser. Yeah, but you lost your bet, so I mean, you're the loser, right? Because you lost. She lost, but you also lost, so you're both kind of losers. But she lost. But she also walked away with prize money, so she kind of lost the match, but didn't lose financially. Whereas you didn't even play, but you lost financially, and you didn't even you got zero gain. At least she got to the quarters of Wimbledon. What have you done? You know? Anyways, trainer's out on call for Fritz. And that's not good. He's pointing at, is he talking about his knee? No, he's not talking about anything. He's just kind of talking. He's not really pointing at anything, but no, he's pointing at his knee. He's pointing at his right knee. The right knee. I don't know which knee was. I don't know which if his right knee was the one that was giving him problems the last couple of months, but he's just asking the trainer, like, what can we do? It doesn't seem like it's bad enough that he can't play. He's obviously hasn't looked like he's not played well. But he might need. I mean, if they strap it up, it's going to restrict movement, right? But if they do nothing, then what? You know. All right, trainers are out for Fritz. All right, 15 left. Caboli. He's in real big trouble because that's a great winner by Ferry. 15-0. Hey, Joe Root's in the house. A very good cricketer. Not as good as Steve Smith, but pretty good. He's all right. All right. So they're just working on Fritz's knee. Not much. I mean, there's not much you can do, right? I mean, if you've got a knee problem, you either tape it up or you you try and loosen it up, I guess, but it's 15-0 as that goes into the forehand of Caboli. Ferry backhand to the forehand of Caboli as Ferry forehand again to the back of Caboli. Ferry again with a forehand. Into the Caboli backhand, and Caboli hits it wide. 15-30. Chance for Ferry to possibly get the break and serve for the second. All right, 15-30. That's with a fault second serve. Caboli. God, he is in trouble. As the backhand return from Ferry goes long. Ooh, 30-0. Caboli hanging on. 30-0. They're really working on Fritz's right knee. Great serve, Caboli, 40-30. All right, 40-30. Fifth ace for Caboli. As the return goes in the forehand of Caboli. Back and slice from Ferry up the line is wide, and it's 4-all in the second. All right. Good hold, Caboli. 4-4. All right, back to Ferry on serve. 4-0. What's happened to Fritz? He's just getting worked on his knee. It didn't do nothing happened, but he just needed some treatment on his knee, which has been giving him trouble this year. I don't know if it's the same knee, but he has been having knee issues for this year. A backhand rally. All right, Fritz is back on court. Let's see if he's okay. All right, Zverev to serve. 2-1 Fritz in the second. There's a backhand. No, there's a fault by Zverev. Second serve. Ferry comes net with a drop volley, but it's in the net. 15-all. Zverev serves again. Into the backhand of Fritz. Backhand of Zverev into the forehand of Fritz. And Zverev again to the forehand of Fritz. Fritz overhits it. 15-love. I wonder if Fritz is going to be more aggressive. He's still testing it out, that knee. He might play more aggressive because he doesn't want to play these long rallies. As Zverev serves an ace out wide. Yeah, Fritz was standing way close to the base on that time. So it's the same knee that he was having trouble with back in March. So it was tendonitis, right? So it's different to like having a serious injury. Tendonitis is no joke, but like, still not ideal. But he had a knee. So he said, "I'm managing my knee. Some days are better than others." This was back in March. He said in Dallas, his knee didn't bother him, but in Indian Wells it did. So yeah. So he's just had knee issues. The same knee, right? That's the right knee. And that's what he just got treatment on. So yeah. So it seems like an ongoing thing. As we get a smash from Zverev, that's going to be a winner. No, it's missed. Okay, he missed it. 40-15. 40-30 for Ferry as he tries to stay in front. $40-30. All right. Serving to the back of Caboli. Return. Is good. No, it's out. Just out by Caboli. Okay. 5-4 to Ferry. Caboli is serving to stay in the second set. As we're serving out the back of Fritz. Back from Zverev. Again to the back of Fritz. Up the line to the back to the forehand of Zverev. As Fritz with a slice. Drop shot. Zverev gets it back. Fritz with a lob. Goes long. And it's 2-0. Fritz is retiring. No, he's not. All right, 2-0 in the second. And Zverev holds. All right, back to Fritz. As he serves the backhand of Zverev. Backhand of Fritz in the net. Yeah, when Fritz has to put weight on his right leg on that backhand, for example, he just didn't get the power that he needed, and he's just definitely feeling it, and probably cautious, right? He's probably a little nervous about it too, All right, return goes forehand of Fritz into the backhand of Zverev. Backhand of Fritz again, the backhand of Zverev. That's Fritz with a forehand cross court. That's a great shot. All right, 15-0. Caboli serving to stay in the second. All right, volley from Caboli, too good. 15-love. All right, Fritz serving again, 15-0. As the return goes into the backhand of Fritz. Zverev gets it back to the forehand of Fritz. Into the backhand of Zverev. Fritz with the forehand. Get into the forehand of Zverev. Now Fritz backhand cross court. Zverev slices it back. Into the forehand of Fritz. Fritz overhits it. 15-30. By the way, chat, the reason why I don't think Fritz is going to retire is because I think he knows what, like, he's played with this. And yeah, it could get worse. And that's something he's going to have to weigh up. But he's not going to be playing for like 3 weeks. So he knows that, like, if he does lose this match, he at least has time to recover for the US Open. And the US Open Series, right? So I don't think he was going to retire. If he had to play next week, you'd be like, oh, well, he has to weigh it up. But he's not playing for like 3 weeks. So there's no need for him to be like, oh, well, I have to be good for next week. No, it's now or it's never, right? This is why he didn't play all the warm-ups at the French, right? And that's why he didn't do well at the French, but he didn't play any clay tennis to be ready for this tournament. This is the tournament that he focused on, right? He basically ditched the clay. He then played all the grass, and then he played this, to get ready for this, right? This is it. So I would be very, unless his knee gets worse, I'd be very surprised he retired this match, because this is what he's been healing for, right? This is why he didn't play the clay, to do well at Wimbledon, because he knows that this is his better chance. We got a volley now from Fritz. That's a good shot. 3-2. And he has managed with this knee tendonitis on and off all year. So it's not, this is not something new. He knows, he's played like under this before. He knows what's going on. He's like, okay, it sucks, but it's not a new thing. So he'll manage it during this match as best he can. 30-all, by the way. Caboli's in big trouble. Is it a backhand for Ferry on the stretch? Caboli on the attack. Ferry with a slice again. Caboli, forehand again. As Ferry with a pass, it's going to be a lob. Very high lob. Bounce smash Caboli. Ferry puts up another lob. That one goes out. 40-30 Caboli. Caboli to keep this match, or keep this set alive. No, 40-30 Caboli. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We have semi-finals of ladies tomorrow. Men's semis on Friday. And then the finals over the weekend. After this, we've only got six matches left. And then the Grand Slam, known as Wimbledon, is over. And then we go to the hard courts in a couple weeks. As Caboli hits it, Ferry hits it in the net, and Caboli holds 5-5. Caboli stays in this set, which he needs this set. Caboli 2 sets to love deficit is brutal. Not that he can't come back, but it's a mountain. All right. 3-2. Fritz in the second. The winners of these matches play each other on Friday. As a bit of serve from Zverev. To the corner Fritz. Corner from Zverev. Into the Fritz backhand, but Fritz hits it long, and it's 15-love Zverev. As Caboli returns in the forehand Ferry. Caboli with the backhand cross-court. Ferry into the Caboli forehand. As a forehand rally now. Now Caboli mixing it up. As Ferry goes into the backhand of Caboli. Into the backhand of Ferry. Good drop shot. And then the volley up the line from Ferry's good, but Caboli overhits it on the forehand. Nice hustle by Ferry. 15-love. Can people stop saying that Fritz is retiring? Yeah, those people that are saying Fritz is retiring are wanting him to retire so that they can get their refund on their bets. That's what they're doing. That's why. They're hoping he retires. Like they're cheering for the retirement because they're going to lose money. That's what they're doing. Anyways, Fritz hits it out. 30-love. Like all those people that they want Fritz to retire so they can get a refund. That's what it is. It's got nothing. They don't actually give a shit about Fritz. All right, nice return from Caboli. 15-all. As Fritz returns the 4 to Zverev. Zverev hits a winner. 40 love. All right, 40 love. Zverev to level this second set. So, to those who are hoping that Fritz retires, Fritz has retired once in his career. And that was back in Washington 2022, where he retired against Dan Evans. So he's only ever retired once in his entire career. And I can't remember exactly why he retired back then, but it must have been pretty serious for Fritz to retire a match because he doesn't quit. He might get injured, but he plays the match. Look at Indian Wells 2020. Was it 2022 when he won Indian Wells? Didn't retire the match. Played with a terrible injury. Won the match. So yeah, he was... Okay, so apparently he retired due to heat-related illness, which could be, heat stroke. So it's got to have to take something pretty serious to knock Fritz out or for him to throw in the towel. A knee issue that he's already had and he already knows about is probably not going to be it. So if you're praying for a retirement, you're probably not going to get it. So you probably should just accept it and cheer for Fritz because he's still in this match. 3-0. 6-5 for Ferry, by the way. He's forcing Caboli to play a tiebreak to keep this close for Caboli. 2 sets of love on this day. No. All right, love 15. As Fritz serves. And ace down the tee. 15-0. And that was a 500 event, not Wimbledon quarterfinal. Exactly. As the return goes into the forehand of Fritz, backing it from Zverev. Into the slice of Fritz. Too good by Zverev. Fritz hits it wide. 15-30. 15-30. All right, serve again. Into the forehand of Zverev. Zverev in the net. 30 all. As long as he's got that serve, Fritz, he's in this match. The serve has got to carry him. He's got to serve more first serves in because the first serve was missing in the first set. Part of the reason why he got broken and lost the set. All right. As Caboli serves to stay in the set again. As Fritz with another great serve. Another massive winner. And it's advantage Fritz 40-30 to get the lead again as Ferry love 15. Nice hitting from Ferry. Tell you, 2 totally different matches here. We've got one match where they're grinding the baseline. And the other match, it's all about the serve. As with a serve from Fritz. Into the backhand of Zverev. Return the back of Fritz. Zverev. With a forehand again, the back of Fritz. Zverev with a backhand up the line. Fritz with a slice. Goes long. And it's deuce. And again, Zverev's playing more aggressive. Especially knowing that Fritz is not feeling great. He is making him move, and I like that from Zverev. He's not just sitting back and just expecting it, which is what Zverev was doing for so long that everyone got annoyed at, right? He would wait for an error, wait for something to happen, and he wouldn't make it happen. But this Zverev, he's making things happen. 4-4 rally. That's Fritz with a great shot. Zverev slice, Fritz volleys. Zverev pass in the net. Oh, lucky. Fritz got lucky. Advantage. Love 30, Ferry. As a default from Caboli. What's going on? Second serve. This is Felinska all over again. Except for British players. As we're back in now to the forehand of Caboli. And a wild card. As a 4-4 rally again. Caboli. Again with a forehand. Slice from Ferry. Caboli. Inside out forehand. Ferry with a pass. Oh, it's long. Almost incredible. 15-30. Fritz survives. And he stays in front 4-3. Second set. All right, 15-30. I'll tell you, Zverev just has to play one terrible service game and Fritz can level this match. He's one, like Fritz is one bad game of Zverev to get, Zverev just has to double fault once, and it's 15-40 or something. Fritz can take the break and serve for the set. We're this close to a one set all. Zverev's not in control, that much control. He's this, it's not far away from a comeback. All right, nice serving from Ferry. Sorry, for Cobolli. Ferry hits it out. 30-all. 30-all. And as Cobolli serves again. Into the forehand of Ferry. Return is in, but Cobolli's there with the forehand. Winner. 40-30. Cobolli still hanging on. No, 40-30. There's a bit of fault from Cobolli. Second serve. Mount Everest is packed with people. As Ferry hits a return wide and Cobolli gets to the tiebreak. All right, who's winning this tiebreak? Who you got? Who's winning this tiebreak? Must-win tiebreak, you feel it, for Cobolli. I'm not sure what his 2 sets of love deficit record is, but you would think that you don't want to go down 2 sets of love in a quarterfinal of a slam against a player who has the entire nation behind him, except for that guy in the American shirt. All right, here we go. Ferry to serve. All right, 1-love Ferry. By the way, I've just looked it up. Cobolli has never come back from 2 sets of love down. So if Ferry wins this set, Cobolli's going to have to do something he's never done. He's been down 2 sets of love 8 times and he has come back to a 5-setter twice. One against Runa and one against Tabilo. One at Wimbledon, one at the French. But he's never won a match from 2 sets down. So, sort of a must-win set for Cobolli. As that goes out by Cobolli, and it's 2-love Ferry. All right, just 15-love as that goes out by Fritz. 30-love. All right, Cobolli serves 2-love Ferry. Cobolli serves. Ferry hits it out in the return. 2-1 to Ferry. Zverev cruising. 40-love. All right, Ferry with the mini break. There's a serve. Here's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Cobolli. Return the net. Oh, bad miss. The re-one. Fritz overheating a lot. Not able to put full weight on his leg. Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of both. Like, he doesn't want to risk putting his weight on his leg, but he's also, like, when he does, he can feel the pain. So it's usually it looks like the backhand is giving him more trouble than the forehand, to be honest. As Zverev too strong. Again, Zverev serving so well as well, which doesn't help. As with a slice lob from Cobolli, but Ferry puts away the smash. No, he doesn't. Cobolli gets it back, but misses. 4-1 Ferry. Ferry with the mini break. And Cobolli in big trouble. Big trouble. Ferry just living the dream. All right, Fritz with an ace, 15-love. All right, serve. Into the forehand of Ferry. Return goes long, and Cobolli survives. 4-2, they change ends. As Fritz goes to 30-love. 4-2 Ferry. As Fritz serves a fault, second serve, 30 love. Second serve. Oh, double fault Fritz. Yuck. That was a shocking second serve. 30-15. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost at 300 likes. We've got the semi-finals tomorrow. Big day of semi-finals tomorrow. All right. 30-15 here as Fritz tries to stay in front. More importantly, Caboli trying to stay alive as we get a forehand out of the slice of Ferry. Forehand from Caboli cross court. Ferry's going to get there with a slice forehand. Inside out forehand to the back of Ferry. To the forehand of Caboli. Ferry slice again. Goes in the net. And it's 4-3 Ferry. He's got the mini break. All right, 30-all. Fritz in big trouble. As he serves. Into the backhand as Zverev return to the forehand of Fritz. Zverev forehand again to the forehand of Fritz. Oh, Fritz hits it just into the back of Zverev. Fritz with the slice. As Zverev starts to unleash. Fritz on the stretch. Again to the forehand of Zverev as Fritz hanging on the point and hits it back into the net though. 30-40 Zverev. And he keeps flexing the knee. Break point Zverev. As we get a serve into the back end of Caboli. Backing up from Ferry. As Caboli back up the line. Ferry gets it back with a forehand. Into the back of Caboli. Cross court the backhand slice of Ferry. And then Caboli backhand wide. 5-3 Ferry. Fritz serves out wide. Zverev returns a slice. Goes in. Fritz forehand again to the backhand of Zverev. As Fritz backhand again. Goes long, and there's the break. Big shouts by Sasha. And Fritz wants to break something, but he knows he's not allowed to break the grass. You'll get in trouble. 5-4. Zverev's going to serve for a 2-set-to-love lead. All right. 5-3 Ferry. Caboli needs a great return here. Second serve. As the return goes in the backhand of Ferry. As Ferry with a forehand to the backhand of Caboli. And Caboli hits it deep. Too deep. And it's 6-3 Ferry. What is going on? 6-3 for Ferry. It's going to be Caboli serving first. He's got 3 set points for a 2-set-to-love lead. How are these matches marrying each other? Like, we started almost the same time. We're second set. The underdog's getting the 2 set. I don't know what's going on. First serve's a foul, second serve. Second serve, Caboli. Into the back of the Ferry, shanks it, but it goes in the front of Caboli. Ferry backhand slice. As Caboli, forehand cross court. Ferry's got it. As Caboli with a forehand up the line. Ferry with a slice. Backhand! Caboli with a good volley. Ooh, that would have been tough. That was a very awkward slice cross court. And Caboli just drops it over. I mean, how many times have we seen players miss that kind of a volley? It's a great slice backhand. Very awkward, but Caboli puts it away, and it's 6-4 Ferry. 6-4 to Ferry. Caboli serves. A fault. Second serve. Into the back of Ferry. Great return. Slice. Caboli goes in. Ferry with a volley. Caboli's going to get there with a slice backhand. Lob! Lob goes long! Ferry's got a 2-set-to-love lead! All right. 2-set-to-love for Ferry. Both Caboli and Ferry are going to have to come back from 2 sets down now. Not Caboli, sorry. Not Ferry, sorry. Fritz. Caboli and Fritz are going to have to come back from 2 sets down now. If Zverev can hold. But he's been automatic today, Zverev. As Zverev serves. Down the tee, a massive serve. 15 love. Nice work, Ferry. Remember, Caboli's never come back from 2 sets down. Today will have to be his first if he can figure it out. He has played 5 sets after 2-set deficits, but Caboli's just shaking his head. Backhand return, Fritz. The backhand is Zverev. Fritz backhand again. Into the slices, Zverev. It's Fritz. Backhand to backhand with Zverev. Now Fritz gets his forehand cross court. Zverev on the stretch gets it, but hits in the net. 15-0. Nice hitting from Ferry. 12 winners, 6 errors. He is playing so well. He just knows how to play on these courts. So, like, that's the thing, right? It's like, it's funny because we were talking about Dan Evans, right? Not getting a wild card. Besides not having a one-hander, like, Ferry is kind of a bit like Evans. He's, Evans was what? 5'9", 5'10", right? Ferry's the same. Just a scrapper. He's got a two-hander backhand. That's the big difference. But, it's very similar style, right? He's a scrappy kind of player. Evans came to the net way more. Maybe a generational thing, right? Being, from an early, late 2000s generation where the serve volley was still around. But definitely just a scrappy player. He just hustles everything. As that goes in the net by Fritz on the return. 40-15. Zverev for a 2-sets-to-love lead. And Zverev serves. Into the back of Fritz. Return goes to the net. Zverev's got a 2-sets-to-love lead. All right. It's Ferry versus Zverev. That's very hard to say. God, this is not going to be fun on Friday if this is what we get. Zverev takes a 2-sets-to-love lead, and Fritz is taking a bathroom break. All right, now, let me have a look. All right, when Zverev wins the first 2 sets at any tournament, he's 78 wins, 3 losses. Not including this week. So including this week, he's about 80 wins, 3 losses. But the last player to beat Zverev from 2-sets-to-love when he was up 2-sets-to-love, the last player, can you guess, chat? Can you guess the last player to beat Zverev when Zverev was up 2-sets-to-love? Who was the last player? Take a guess. There's a lot of, might be obvious, might not be. I don't know. Who was the last player to beat Zverev in 2-sets-to-love when Zverev was up 2-sets-to-love? Alcaraz, no. Djokovic, no. Sinner, no. Medvedev, no. Team, no. Carlos, no. Medi, no. Team, no. Bublik, no. Fritz. It was Fritz. So Fritz at Wimbledon 2024, Zverev was up 2-sets-to-love, and Fritz came back to win in 5. So the last man to beat him from this position was the man that he faces today. So that's something. But on that day, Fritz had both his knees. Today, Fritz has got one knee. Now, when was the last time Fritz came back from 2-sets-to-love down? Because that's also something. 4 times he's come back from 2-sets-to-love down, Fritz. He did it against Pirikar here last year at Wimbledon last year. Also play, obviously, the Zverev match as well. Anderson back in 2020 at the Australian Open. And also Misha Zverev at the US Open 2018. So twice at Wimbledon, he's come back from 2-sets-to-love down to take the win. So, and luckily for Fritz, one of them was against Zverev. So there you go. So there is hope. There is hope for Fritz. But he's also serving second in the third, so that sucks. But we'll find out if Fritz can do it again. All right. Zverev to win Wimbledon? That'd be kind of wild, wouldn't it? All right, let's see whether or not Caboli can fight back as he's talking to his coaches a lot. And he's telling his coaches not to talk. All right. All right, Fritz is back. Let's see if either of these guys can come back from this position. I think Fritz coming back from 2 sets down is more likely than Cobolli. Well, then again, maybe not, because I mean, Ferry's got to do the thing. He's got to finish the job, which, you know, he's got to finish the job. Cobolli might be able to win 3 sets in a row, whereas Fritz against Zverev's less likely to be that generous, right? Whereas Ferry, never been here before, he could drop a couple of sets with nerves, you know, and Cobolli could rage back. I don't know. It still feels like these matches aren't over. I think maybe it's gonna be harder for Fritz to come back against Zverev because of Zverev's serving is amazing and Fritz's knee is bothering him. Whereas Ferry could take off this 3rd set and Cobolli could start to get some momentum, you know. All right, 30 love Fritz. Serve down the tee is let. Oh wait, Fritz is serving first. My bad. I thought Fritz was serving second. Sorry, he's serving first. He's serving first in the 3rd, which might help him. Is it a backhand rally? It's Zverev again, the backhand Fritz into the forehand of Zverev. And Zverev hits it wide, and it's 40 love. All right, Cobolli is also serving first in the 3rd. It's crazy these matches are on point. 40 love Fritz. Remember, the winners of these match play each other on Friday after Sinner versus Djokovic. That'll be the first match, and then this will be the second match, I would guess. As we're forehand now from Cobolli to the forehand, to the back of Ferry. Forehand to forehand now is Ferry on the attack. Drop shot. Cobolli gets it back with a slice, and then the volley in the net by Ferry. Good effort. 15-all. All right, backhand return goes to the backhand of Fritz. Fritz in the net, 40-30. All right, 40-30. As we get a serve from Fritz as the fault, second serve. By the way, chat, which match is going to finish first? 1 in the chat if you think Fritz Zverev finishes first. 2 in the chat if you think Ferry Cobolli finishes first. Which match ends first? 1 for Fritz Zverev, 2 for Cobolli Ferry. There's a bit of slice from Cobolli in the net, 30-all. And deuce for Fritz. 1 for Fritz Zverev, 2 for Cobolli Ferry. Which one finishes first? Which match ends first? As Fritz gets to advantage. A lot of people going with Ferry Cobolli. Okay. They finish at the exact same time. Well, that's 3. If you think it's going to finish at the same time, 3. Like, I'd be pretty surprised. Look, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Ferry finishes in straights because Cobolli's never won from 2 sets down, so he knows that too. Whereas I'd be pretty shocked if Fritz went out in straights. That would be pretty surprising, unless it's a tiebreak. I think it's more likely that Ferry finishes the job here in straights because he's got momentum and Cobolli's not having fun, and also there's a break point right now, 30-40. As the return from Ferry goes into the forehand of Cobolli, Ferry with the backhand on the stretch. Cobolli, forehand again to the forehand of Ferry. Again to the forehand of Cobolli. Is Cobolli in the net? There's the break! Ferry's got 2 sets of love and a break. Is Cobolli taking Ferry too lightly? Like, has he underestimated Ferry? He has played him, so I mean, why would he underestimate him? He's played him, he lost to him, so why would he not? He would. I mean, it's not like he's played him. Maybe that's the problem too, is that he's played him. And Ferry's like, yeah, I beat you in straight sets, I'll do it again. All right, 15 love Zverev. Lovely hitting by Ferry. Zverev serves again. And the return goes backhand of Zverev. Backhand from Fritz to the forehand. Zverev to the backhand of Fritz. Zverev backhand again to the backhand of Fritz. Zverev with another forehand. Fritz with a slice. Goes wide. Nice hitting. Zverev just wants it more. 30 love. Zverev is just going for the shots. Fritz is just waiting. I'll tell you, for the next match, for the semis, I mean, if Fritz's knee's giving him trouble, you'd probably rather see a healthy Zverev versus Ferry than a... I mean, if you're Ferry, you want to play Fritz if he's sore, right? But I think if you're a neutral fan, you want to see you don't want to see a... Well, first of all, we don't want what we had at the French where somebody pulled out. But you don't want to see, like... I mean, maybe it's... maybe not. Maybe Fritz Ferry is a good match because of the Fritz knee might be a little bit sus, so then it evens it out. I don't know. But you don't want to see somebody injured in a final or a semi-final. You want two as healthy as possible players, right? Put on the best performance. All right, 30-15 Zverev. As the return goes into the forehand of Zverev, forehand from Fritz is long. And again, Fritz is really hesitant at putting weight on the knee on the forehand too. When he goes to load up on the forehand, he's just really like, duh. He really doesn't want to, like, he's doing like short, sharp, little swings because he doesn't want to, he's hesitating on that knee, on that leg. It's weird, like really little sharp, like whips that he's missing. Good serve down the tee. From Zverev, return goes in the forehand of Fritz now as Zverev forehand slice. Fritz. Forehand inside out. Zverev with the pass is a lob. Bounce smash Fritz. Puts that away. 40-30. All right, 30-15 is with a forehand now from Ferry to the back of Caboli. Slice from Ferry and Caboli hits it up the line. Ferry gets it back. Backhand rally. That's Caboli with a forehand cross court. Ferry with a slice. Goes long. That's 30-all. What type of player does Zverev not like playing? What's the Sinner type? Jannik Sinner type? Italian? Forehand. Into the backhand of Zverev. Oh, Fritz left it! Why would he leave it? It was always going in. Fritz went for the jump and then he left it and Zverev shot landed in by a fair bit. 1-1. Fritz had the volley. Could have put that away. He could have at least attempted it. He might not have put it away, but he could have attempted. 1-1. 30-all here. Ferry trying to keep the break. He's been a forehand from Ferry into the backhand of Caboli. Ferry backhand of the forehand of Caboli. Again, the forehand of Ferry as Caboli wins the point. Ferry just hits it out. 30-40. Okay. 30-40. Caboli to get back on serve straight away. It's Fritz backhand to backhand with Zverev. Another backhand from Fritz on the stretch. Goes long. 15-all. There's a serve now. The backhand of Caboli. Return goes in. The backhand of Ferry. We've got a forehand from Caboli. Ferry forehand inside out. Caboli gets a backhand on the stretch. Ferry drop shot. Caboli gets it with a slice. Ferry, half volley up the line. Caboli with a pass is a lob. And then the smash from Ferry, just too good. We get the deuce. Just too good on the smash from Ferry. Great serve from Fritz down the tee. 30-15. 30-15. Ah, 30-15. As the return goes out by Zverev, 40-15. As the return goes into the forehand of Ferry. Caboli backhand again in the backhand of Ferry. As Caboli forehand pass. Ferry with a volley in the net. Yeah, the pass was too good. Not a great approach by Ferry. Advantage Caboli. As Fritz serves. Into the backhand of Zverev. Fritz with a forehand shanked. Wide. 40-30. 40-30. 40-30 as he serves again. Into the forehand of Zverev. Return goes short. Fritz forehand up the line, but stays back and then hits it back into the net. Fritz, I don't know why Fritz wouldn't at least attempt a volley. So this is the thing too with Fritz, is that even he doesn't really have a plan B. You know what I mean? As Ferry hits a great smash and Caboli in the net, we get the deuce. Like, Fritz can't shorten the points except for his serve, yeah? Otherwise, he's not coming to the net. He's not comfortable there. Which is a shame, because in a situation like this, you know, chucking in some serve volleys would probably do him some good. But he can't do the volley. You know, he doesn't have the volley. There's a forehand up the line from Fritz, so he has to grind it out in the baseline and keep his knee at work, you know? Backhand rally. As Fritz gets the forehand of Zverev. Forehand from Fritz. Goes long, yep. Advantage Zverev. And it sucks because Fritz has got such a big serve that he could probably follow it in. But he just doesn't want to, and it's just not something that he feels comfortable doing. He'd rather stand back and rally, you know? But that's just a symptom of that whole generation. Like, that's just not him. That whole generation have an allergy to the net, you know? Zverev has it too. Some Medvedev, right? I mean, all those guys. They all don't want to come to the net. It's just not in their... It's just not natural. Even when it probably is maybe better for them. There's been a backhand return, the backhand of Fritz, backhand of Zverev. To the backhand of Fritz. Zverev, backhand again. Into the backhand of Fritz. Zverev gets the break. Fritz hits it long. All right. And Ferry holds. He keeps the break. 2 sets to love on both courts. And a break. Zverev lets Fritz go first. Through as they walk past each other. All right. 2 sets to love and a break for Ferry. 2 sets to love and a break for Zverev. And they are on a collision course for the semis on Friday. Which, I'll tell you, you know what, I'd rather... Oh, man, it kind of stinks that we have this lineup, but it would have been really interesting if the semifinals were Djokovic Ferry. And I'm not saying Zverev... I mean, I know Zverev and Sinner could never have played in the semis because of their ranking, but it really would have been fun if the semifinal lineup was Ferry Djokovic, because I'm like, Ferry Zverev, okay. That's going to be interesting, right? Ferry's on a roller coaster ride and everyone's going to be excited. But Zverev doesn't respond to the crowds negatively like that. So he's not going to be affected by the crowd. But it would have been really interesting to see Djokovic versus Ferry. We might still get in the final, right? But it would have been really interesting to see that as a semi-final with this crowd going wild. And Djokovic has already been at the start of the first round when Wu was, you know, when people were wooing, he was pissed at them. Imagine him playing a Brit. He did play Norrie here in the semis back a couple of years ago and didn't have very much fun then. But that won't be happening, obviously. Ferry's going to play Zverev if they win. As Ferry hits a lovely shot up the line, love 30. Caboli's in big trouble now. Oh, wow. That hit the line by a little bit. Are we really going to get a Zverev versus Sinner final? At Wimbledon? At Wimbledon? I look, okay. I'm not counting out Ferry, but let's just put them both in the final, right? It is kind of interesting to see how Zverev is against Sinner with a Grand Slam now. Like, I think once he won that slam, we all think, we're all probably curious now to go, okay, but does it change things when he plays the other guys? Does it, like, okay, he won the French Open, weight of the world off his shoulders, wins the Grand Slam. He's not the best player to never win one now. He's got the slam. But that's great for his career and his legacy. But doesn't matter when it comes to playing Sinner or Alcaraz. Because if you want to win a second one, you got to beat them, right? It's not going to, this opportunity that he got and he took, luckily, he luckily took it. It's not going to come around again. You're going to have to go through Sinner to win Wimbledon, most likely. You're going to have to go through Alcaraz to win titles, right? So it is kind of interesting if we do get that final. To go, okay, now that Sasha's, level when it comes to, like, achievements, right? I've won a slam, you've won a slam, right? Does that make any difference? Most people in the chat are saying, no, it doesn't make any difference. But that's what's interesting, because who knows? Maybe it does. Maybe he just, like, unleashes hell, which would be insane. Like, that would be crazy. Yeah, he's overcoming Fritz. I mean, I know Fritz isn't his best self right now, but Zverev beating Fritz after losing 7 in a row might add some, especially on grass, on Fritz's surface. Maybe he likes his chances, Sasha. You know what I mean? He doesn't feel like, I've got to try and push a boulder up a hill. He's like, no, I've done that. I've won the Grand Slam now. I don't need to. I've won a major. I don't need to. There's no pressure. He'll be going into the Sinner match in the final if he makes it without any pressure. Like, Zverev's going to be like, well, it's not mine to win, right? This is not my title to win. And let's be honest, Sinner's got a lot of pressure on him because he hasn't won a slam yet. Sinner hasn't won a slam in 12 months. Imagine he doesn't win Wimbledon. We go to the US Open and Sinner's slamless. He doesn't hold any slams. That'd be weird. Considering how good he's been outside the slams. That'd be kind of weird. Anyways, we're getting way ahead of ourselves. Ferry hasn't even won yet. Or Caboli. Or Fritz. Fritz is looking rough, though. 15-all. All right, Caboli in big trouble again. And also Djokovic is still around. Remember him? All right, advantage Ferry. Sabalenka slamless right now. No, Sabalenka still has the US Open in a like she's the reigning champion. You're only slamless if you don't win a slam within the 12 months, right? She still has the US Open, so she's not slamless. Whereas if Sinner lost the Wimbledon, he wouldn't have any slams. He wouldn't be defending any champion, and that's pointing to his ear from Caboli. He keeps himself alive. I don't know if he knows that the other guy's British, but he's pointing to his ear. It's like, you're not going to get much love from this crowd. This crowd are going to cheer the other guy and maybe give you a pity clap for a good effort. All right, 30-15 Fritz. As the return goes in the backhand of Fritz. Fritz hits it up the line and wide. 30-all. Yeah, Fritz is looking pretty beat up. All right, return goes to forehand of Caboli. Ferry up the line. Caboli with a forehand on the stretch. Goes in the forehand of Ferry. As Caboli with a forehand again. To the forehand of Ferry. Caboli another forehand to the forehand of Ferry. As Caboli again with a forehand inside out to the backhand slice of Ferry. As Caboli forehand on the stretch. Ferry gets it back. Caboli goes up the line again. Slice from Ferry into the forehand of Caboli. It's Ferry forehand again. Caboli with a slice. Into the forehand of Ferry. As Caboli back in again in the net. Nice rally by Ferry. Advantage Ferry to get that double break. As Zverev goes to the back of Fritz. Fritz in the net. Deuce. How are these matches almost exactly the same with the way that they're going? All right. Deuce. And advantage Ferry. Ferry for the double break. The insurance break. As we serve from Caboli. is a fault. Second serve. I want a break point for a double break. And again, Fritz is just flexing his knee. Advantage Zverev for a double break. Caboli gives a serve to the back of Ferry. Back into Caboli to the forehand. Ferry. Caboli forehand. Goes wide. And Ferry's got a 3-love lead in the third. 2 sets to love and a double break. As Fritz serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As Camilla was on the camera and she waves. Zverev gets a double break with a return winner. Did anyone else see that? With the fan in one hand. That's the queen right there. Double break. She saw us on camera. And then they cut away. The worst part was they cut away from her. Give the lady let her do a royal wave. Let her do the wave. God damn it. Cameraman savage. And show Camilla for 1 second. Whoop. Come on, give her at least 5 seconds to wave. She realized she was on the camera and then she went to do the thing and then they bloody cut away. Ah, man. Let the step queen wave. Anyways, what is this matches? We're getting the exact same situation. Double break on both courts. 2 sets of love on both courts. The underdog's winning on both courts because Fritz was the favorite against Zverev. I tell you, they're showing this winner up the line from Zverev. God, man. Zverev in the semis of Wimbledon? Where? How? He's gone so under the radar too because we've been focusing on, Shelton losing at the start and we're focusing on De Minaur a little bit down the bottom. And Fritz obviously was the man who was supposed to, he was the one that we all expected on the grass. And then we obviously keep watching Sinner and Djokovic, who are the favorites to win this tournament. And then Zverev just kind of like snuck through the draw. We've not been focused. We haven't barely watched him. We haven't thought that Zverev was going to be this far into the tournament. But then again, his draw wasn't terrible, so it wasn't like we thought he was going to lose. Lehechka was a speed bump. That was not easy. He was supposed to play Alice or Rinaldi or Mute or Giron, and he beat Giron. Blocks in the first round was his toughest match so far. And then, Bublik, Fritz, Tiafoe were, here, and yeah, but nobody, Zverev's kind of just come out of nowhere. He's just literally flown under the radar down the bottom of the draw. We've been watching Sinner and Djokovic because they have way more to prove this week. And we didn't expect, Zverev lost first round last year. We weren't thinking Zverev's making the semis. There was no expectation on that. On grass? That's not his thing. It is this year, 4-1. All right, 30 love for Ferry. As Ferry keeps the dream alive. I'd say Ferry's doing the All England Club a favour too, because the better he does, the less people are going to talk about Evans not getting a wild card. You know what I mean? No one's talking about Evans missing out on a wild card now because the wild card went to this guy, and this guy's, not that it wasn't. You can say that it was, but, there's other wild cards too, but they're going to be like, oh, well, no, the wild card went to this guy. Evans, what if we gave it to Evo? We would have missed out on this. That's not technically true, but there are more wild cards than one. It's very high, it's 4 love. But it does help people forget about, not giving Dan Evans one. It helps. It helps. He did deserve one, though. He should have bloody got one. 4 love. As with a serve now from Caboli into the backhand of Ferry. As back in Caboli, the backhand Ferry. Caboli backing up the line. Ferry. Forehand goes wide. 15 love. As Zverev serves. Zverev with the serve is a fault. Second serve. Maybe Evans would have done the same. Hey, maybe. Maybe. That would have been crazy, though. Can you imagine Evo in his last Wimbledon going on this run? Whew, that would have been something. That would have been nuts. All right, forehand goes in the net by Fritz, 30-15. Zverev, I don't think he's going to drop a 2-break third set lead from 2 sets of love. Well, it would be an all-time meltdown if Zverev lost this match now. Not this Sasha. Slam Sasha is clearly different. At least this week. He's playing at a different level of confidence. All right, Ferry, by the way, speaking of confidence, he wants a bagel. What the hell? Give this man a bagel. 15-30. As a return from Fritz goes the backhand of Zverev, sliced into the backhand of Fritz. Fritz in the net, 40-15. Sinner lost from 2-love, 5-1 up at Roland Garros, yeah. But he also was sick, so I don't think unless Zverev gets ill in the next 5 minutes, I don't think I would be very surprised if he lost this lead. All right, Zverev with an ace, 5-1. Zverev's serve has been so good in this match. And unfortunately, Fritz hasn't been able to keep up to that level of serving, even though he's a phenomenal server too, right? I mean, Fritz is serving, he's a beast on serve, but Zverev is just clinic on his serve. Hasn't been broken. Just awesome from Zverev on serve. He's going to have to do that if he's going to play Djokovic or Sinner. He's going to have to play one of them to win a final and win another slam. Imagine he won. Oh, can he? How does Zverev win the slam, whatever, the channel slam? That's crazy if that happened. He can't do that, can he? He can. He might. All right, 30-40 Ferry to go to 5-love. Caboli serves down the tee, the forehand of Ferry. Return goes in. Caboli. Forehand to the slice of Ferry. Ferry hits it out. We get the deuce. All right, 15-love. Fritz serving to stay in the match. Great serve. 30-love. Ferry is just a joke. Corrupted English play. Oh, boo fucking who? 30-love. As that goes to net by Caboli. Advantage Ferry to go to 5-love. All right, 40-love for Fritz to make Zverev serve for the match. As Fritz serves an ace. All right, Fritz holds, but Zverev is going to serve for the semis. All right, advantage Ferry to go to 5-love. Serving to the forehand of Ferry. Return goes to the forehand of Caboli. Ferry backhand pass. Caboli with a drop volley. Ferry's going to get it. And Caboli puts up a lob. Ferry with a smash. He's letting it bounce. Smart. And he puts it straight to Caboli, who hits it in the net. There it is. Break. 5-love Ferry. Wow. By the way, how weird is it, chat? And look, I know that Djokovic isn't technically the 3rd best player in the world by ranking, but let's be honest. The three best players in the tournament, right? Because no Alcaraz. And then the wild card. Sinner, Djokovic, Zverev, right? We know them. We've seen them many, many times. They're normal semi-finals and slams, right? We're used to that. And then Ferry. The random. What a lineup. Great for Ferry. Love that for Ferry. And I know, like, fairy tale, blah, blah, ha. But it is a fairy tale run. Like, this is what it is, right? This is what a fairy tale run is. A wild card making the semis is rare. We don't get this. We had Falinska taking the as a quali getting to the final. Second player since Raducanu, right? And now a wild card makes the semis. I mean, this doesn't happen. We don't see this. This is not usual, right? Especially when you got the other 3 guys Grand Slam champions, top of the tree, right? I mean, and then just some random wild card who has gone on a crazy run to join them. All right, Zverev serve for the match. So is Ferry. They're going to finish at the same bloody time. Who said 3? Who said 3? All right, Zverev serves. 15 love. And Ferry serving as well. There's a bit of serve from Zverev as a fault. Second serve. Return the net by Cobolli. 15 love Ferry. Chat, who's going to finish first? 1 for Zverev, 2 for Ferry. Who finishes first? Which one? 1 for Zverev, 2 for Ferry. Who's finishing this match first? Which match ends first? Back in return goes back in Zverev. Forehand from Fritz. Into the forehand of Zverev as Fritz gets the point. Zverev in the net. As Ferry serves an ace. All right, 30 love. Ferry's 2 points away. Zverev's 3 points away. All right, 30 love Ferry. As Ferry serves into the forehand of Cobolli. Return goes to the forehand of Ferry. Cobolli backhand slice is off the tape. Oh, Ferry gets it. Oh, what a pickup. The entire crowd are on their feet. Great reactions from Ferry. And he brings himself match point. Ha! What a reaction. He could have given that point away. He's up 5 love. He didn't have to go for that. He could have given that point away and gone, it doesn't matter. I'm still 30-15. No, he's like, no, I've got to basically put my life on the line to get that ball back. Match points for Ferry to put himself in a Wimbledon semi. Ace out wide. Ferry does it. Wow, an all-time British run. It's up there with the Henman runs. It's up there with the Murray titles. Ferry is in the semis. It is a British fairy tale run, which we know how the drought's been. We know the heartbreak of Henman. Even Murray had a bit of heartbreak before he finally broke through. But Ferry, he joins British tennis law at Wimbledon. As Zverev serves an ace, and he's about to finish this match and get to the semis as well. It's crazy that it happened. This is like Man United versus Man City when they went for the premiership. And one kicked a goal over here, and then they kicked a goal over here. Aguero! 40-15. Zverev to join Ferry in the semis. And to do it in front of the Queen. How about that? All right, 40-15. Zverev serves. Out wide of the forehand of Fritz. Fritz in the net. The streak ends. Zverev finally gets that guy. His boogeyman. His sleep paralysis demon. And Fritz having a laugh. He's like, oh, you fucking got me. You got me. Sucks for Fritz, though. His knee was bothering him. Hopefully it's nothing serious. And he can recover well for the American hard courts. But Zverev is into the semis of Wimbledon. And he's going to take on the wild card. He doesn't know that. Or maybe he does. Because they do show the scores at the end of change of ends. So maybe he does know that Cobolli lost. They literally going to do an interview at the same time. They're going to talk at the exact same time about their next opponents, which have just happened. Again, chap, this is weird as hell. I did not expect these matches to finish at almost the exact same time. We didn't even get a 5-setter. Robbed. Rigged. Where's my 5-setter? We had one last night against Djokovic, all right? Well, Djokovic gave us our 5-setter, all right? We gotta be happy with that, all right? Robbed. I want a 5-setter. I didn't stay up all night for straight sets. All right, we're going to merge the streams. We're going to keep hanging out, though, so make sure you join us over here if you want to keep watching. We're just going to chill out on the Zverev match and talk about what the heck is going to happen in the semis. But lovely win by Ferry. Takes out Cobolli straight, 6-4, 7-6-6. Love. I don't know what number British man is into the semis of Wimbledon, But he joins Henman, he joins all those Murray, everybody, all those British players that have ever made the semis, which I don't think there's that many in the Open era, but he's one of them, and he's going to play Zverev. All right. God, and Zverev gets Fritz off his back by getting the win against the man that has given him so much heartache over the last 2 years. I mean, Fritz has been Zverev's worst nightmare for the last couple of years. Wimbledon 2024, it's full circle. 2 years ago, Zverev gets beaten by Fritz from 2 sets to love up and then couldn't beat him for 6 more times. And now, 2 years later, and a Grand Slam, I think that's a big difference, right? And a Grand Slam later, Sasha gets the win over the guy that stopped him, or that ruined him a couple years back. Still yapping? Yeah, it's called tennis talk. Yapping is another word for talk. So you're in the wrong place if you didn't want to get any talk. I can sit here and look pretty, but I don't think that'd be very fun. Underwhelming matches, yeah, a bit disappointing. A little bit disappointing. Even the women's matches, they weren't as I mean, there was no 3-setter there. I mean, we got straight sets wins all round. It's a pretty midday today, to be honest. But hey, they can't all be bangers. And look, it's probably not the worst thing considering yesterday with the Djokovic match, we had a pretty insane day yesterday. So it's probably nice to have a bit of a slow day. A little bit of a slow day, Was Caboli injured in the third? No. Nope. No injury to speak of for Caboli. He just got wrecked. First time viewing your channel. Love the commentary. Hey, appreciate that. Thanks for sticking around. We're sticking around for a bit. I mean, it's only 2:30 in the morning my time, and there's no World Cup today, so I'm going to be bored as fuck for the next couple of hours. I have nothing to do. What the hell am I going to do? I've been going to bed at like 10 a.m. I'm going to have to make some previews, and then, I don't know, what is it? Thursday morning. Is there anything open on a Thursday morning? At 2 a.m.? Nah. Bloody bored out of my brain. I've got nothing to do. Watch a movie? Yeah, there is things I can do, but I'm just making a joke. Coco Zverev on grass doing well, yeah. And I said this at the start, how interesting it is that like grass court tennis, those who do well at Roland Garros are now also kind of doing well on the grass. It's especially Zverev. Like Zverev in particular, he's never really done well here. Now, 2 years ago, when he had that Fritz, he was up against Fritz 2 sets to love, he could have made the quarters that year, right? Last year was a bit of a bad loss. And he's had, to be fair, Zverev he's had bad results because of his opponents, not because he's not good on grass. He's just not better than some, he's played Berrettini, he's played, Fritz here a few times, right? He's played good grass guys. So it's not like Zverev is bad on grass. He's just not as good as the guys that he's lost to. The guys that he's played, if you look at his history at Wimbledon. But I'll tell you, Zverev, his serve is there. And his serve is massive. He's also made all the semis of the slams now. And if he makes the final, he's made every final in his career, which is not crazy, but also like, God, if he didn't win the French, we would have all been like, shit, he's really good, isn't he? But he's not good enough. Lucky he won the French. Lucky he won the French. Because now we can be like, yeah, he is that guy. He is one of the great players of our era. To make all the slam finals is insane. Like, that's a huge achievement. He's still got to beat Ferry, though. And Ferry's got the entire country on his shoulders. Fritz Caboli both got 10 games over 3 sets. Yeah. Weird. What a weird. Just such a strange, unusual, strange, very straightforward day today. Bro, you never know tennis. Yeah. You never know in tennis. You're right. Things happen. Is Ferry actually short or just tennis short? I don't know. 5'9" is definitely tennis short. Because average is like 6 foot, yeah? Well, the average is like 6'2", 6'1". So he's definitely like Schwartzman, right? Diego Schwartzman level. If Ferry wins the title, he will be 13 in the world. That's insane. And he might even get like qualify for the ATP finals. You know what I mean? Like with the Grand Slam rule, he might qualify. Anyways, that's a long way away. He's still got to beat Zverev and then Djokovic or Sinner. So I mean, he's still got to play like the best of the best. But is Zverev closing in on number 2? He is. If he does win, if he makes the final, he'll be number 2, I think. I think if he makes the final, he'll be number 2. So there you go. If he makes the final, he will be the second best player on the planet. And if he doesn't make the final, he'll still probably get there eventually. Blunted.
This makes Demon's loss hurt even more. Sad face.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have missed opportunity tonight, this week. Linda.
Zverev will beat Ferry. Sasha ramps it up when needed.
Yeah, I think Ferry's had a great run. I'd be very surprised if he beats Zverev. He might get a set off Zverev. Maybe 5. I mean, maybe even 5, right? But it would be very shocking to see Zverev's a different level. Like beating Dimitrov, beating Kaboli, very good wins, right? Beating, but Zverev is Zverev's a next level. Beating Kaboli's huge. I mean, that he hadn't played a seeded player until Kaboli. So beating Kaboli is huge, but then Zverev's another level. Zverev's a different level. Yeah, Zverev's number 2 if he makes the final. Yeah. Zverev probably will beat Ferry and then lose to Sinner in the final. I mean, look, that's the narrative, but I don't know, man. I mean, Zverev with a Grand Slam. I kind of want to see how he does. I want to see what he looks like against Sinner. I think that'd be interesting. Because I think, again, like when he won the French a month ago, when he won the French, the question was, well, he didn't, the statement was that he didn't beat anyone to win it, right? It was easy. If he beats Sinner at Wimbledon, obviously that's going to be justified that he's legit. But my question isn't so much like you can't pick who you play. So he won the Slam fair and square, right? I don't care if he didn't play Djokovic or whatever. He still won the Slam. That's all. History will remember that. But I am interested. Like, what does it mean for his confidence against Sinner? That's what I want to see, because he obviously has pretty bad results against Sinner recently. His results keep getting worse and worse every time he plays Sinner. But now that he's got a Grand Slam in his pocket, and also, I mean, don't underestimate how big of a deal that was to beat Fritz, who was, keeping Zverev, he was giving Zverev nightmares. I mean, even literally a couple of weeks ago, he played him in Halle and beat him there, right? Fritz won again. So, and look, maybe the result's the same. Maybe Sinner wins in straights, right? Which it should be. I mean, the only thing that's changed is the confidence of Zverev, but what does that mean against Sinner? I don't know. But it might be interesting to see if maybe he plays with a little more freedom. Maybe he plays with a little less, pressure, because he's already got a Slam, and he's like, oh well, I got to the Wimbledon final if he beats Ferry, right? Ferry can beat Zverev in his dreams. Okay, that was harsh. A little harsh. But if Novak beats Sinner, I think Zverev has a chance of beating Novak. Yeah. 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 I don't know. What would a Zverev-Djokovic final look like? It depends on how Djokovic beats Sinner. You're right, though. I mean, Zverev probably beats Djokovic. And I know people are going to go, but Djokovic has won this many things and that and that. Yeah, but Zverev, I mean, I don't think he expected himself to make the final of Wimbledon. But so if he plays Djokovic, yes, it gives Djokovic a better chance, right? He's probably going to be the favorite. But Zverev, either way, he has nothing to lose against Zverev, Djokovic or Sinner. So if he plays Djokovic, I mean, I feel like this tournament we've got ahead of ourselves and things have not gone the way that we hoped. Serena lost first round when everyone thought she was going to be in the second round without breaking a sweat. Eala, right, was supposed to beat Paolini and we were looking too forward again. So, like, if we do look much forward again, we'll probably be Ferry versus Sinner. Let's be honest. It's going to be Ferry versus Sinner. And it's probably going to be a 2-2-2 Sinner because Sinner's, he won't mess with a wild card, right? He won't be bothered by a wild card. But, yeah, I mean, we'll just wait and see. As long as the semi-finals are better than today. Today's matches were they all started at the same time. They all ended at the same time. They're all straight sets. So hopefully we can get some better matches over the next couple of days. Tomorrow's matches are awesome. Women's semi-final day. We've got some bangers tomorrow. Obviously the men's semi-finals. We're guaranteed a banger with Djokovic Sinner. And then obviously Zverev Ferry is after that. And then the finals will be the finals. But there's some big matches tomorrow. Big matches tomorrow for the ladies. Noskova has the longest odds for the title. Does she? That seems weird. I might back her for it. 5 on Noskova to win? Screw it. Why not? Oh, it's pretty close though. Oh. It's Mukova. Mukova. All right. Mukova, Kostyuk, Gauff, and Noskova, but they're all like this close. It's pretty much a toss-up between those four. There's no favorite. I'm not putting a favorite on that. Ferry's obviously the biggest underdog. Zverev, by the way, is ahead of Djokovic when it comes to winning this title. I mean, because obviously Djokovic's got to play through Sinner, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm probably not worth putting on Noskova, to be honest. She's only playing a little bit. It's very close. What's up with Wimbledon screwing over the ladies who played today and not get a day off tomorrow? I mean, give us a better example. Give us a better opportunity. What do you want? Give us a better option. I'll be back in 2 seconds. What would you do then? How do you schedule it? You tell me. All right, I'm listening. Who was that? What's a better solution then? What do you give? What tomorrow? Then you play one semi tomorrow, one on Friday. Okay, and then the women's finals on Saturday. Then what do you do then? Like no matter what's going to happen, somebody's going to have to play one day after the other. That's just the way it is. Grass is faster, so you got to think that Sinner will be better and it's harder to defend on grass. Better than what, Djokovic? Have both finals Sunday. Okay, so what? Have nothing on Saturday? That could work. It'd be very strange to have no matches on Saturday, though. But okay, that's a solution. I think Zverev and Djokovic Wimby final would be similar to the Roland Garros 2026 final. Yeah, probably. Why do I have a fence around the sofa? Because it's like a... I don't want anyone to sit on it. What happened to Fritz? So Fritz... Well, first of all, Zverev served really well. Didn't give Fritz a chance on serve. And then he started having that knee... He has a right knee issue that he's been dealing with on and off all year, and it kind of flared up. So, unfortunately, a little bit of injury for Fritz, and Zverev was serving phenomenally. The Zverev serve was unbreakable, so that's what happened. It's better than going from a day off and then nothing. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, call the tournament and give them that. Look, credit to you, because most people come in here and give me a problem and don't give me a solution. So at least you got a solution. Most people come in here and just talk about, oh, that's not fair, and then they don't know what the alternative is. Go tell Wimbledon that, though. You try and convince them. The best they can do is put the matches on first thing this morning, so then they give them the most amount of time. And both players today have to play tomorrow, so it's like it's not like they're playing players that had a day off. They're both of them have a day. Both of them played today, so it doesn't give anyone an unfair advantage. It just might not be fair in the long run. But you tell Wimbledon. They might consider it. Yeah, Zverev beat Fritz. Zverev beat Fritz. By the way, that was we only streamed for I want to say 4 hours total, 5 hours. I'm not mad. Djokovic match was insane. It was intense last night, so I'm not mad. Not mad to have an easy game, easy day, you know. Cam, to be realistic, whoever comes out of the side of Sinner or Djokovic Zverev will struggle against. But he has a better chance against Novak. Yeah, I mean, you've said exactly what I think most people think. That's exactly right. Yeah, I don't think anyone disagrees with that. So you're just saying the exact same thing as probably 99% of people. You've just gone with the super obvious answer. Right? Congrats. That's you've just said the super obvious, yes. And you said what everyone else is thinking. Enjoy your McGriddles. I don't think they do McGriddles at 3 a.m. Do you think Mukova can win despite the head-to-head? On grass, I think she has a better chance against Gauff, but I still think it's going to be... I picked Coco to win the match. Djokovic Zverev final, okay. By the way, I want to know how many people that are picking a Djokovic Zverev final are Djokovic fans, because I feel like Zverev fans are probably thinking it's tough either way. Obviously, better chance against Djokovic. I don't even think Zverev fans are probably just happy to be in a position to be in the final. After the French, I mean, Zverev fans must be losing their minds at how well he's playing. Sinner, but Djokovic fans, obviously, they're going to, they have to beat Sinner first, right? It would be a big shock if Djokovic beats Sinner. It'd be a bigger shock if Federer took out Zverev, but I still think it's a big shock if it would be an upset if Djokovic beats Sinner. It's an upset both. I mean, I don't know what the odds are, but Djokovic beating Sinner would be just as shocking, if not more shocking, No, not more shocking, but just as shocking as if Ferry won. Tomorrow's women's matches are also, they're pretty 50-50 to be honest. I'm looking at the things here, but yeah, Djokovic is a big underdog against Sinner, as Ferry would be against Zverev. There's clear favourites in the men's side. On the women's side, it's a toss-up. As you know, let's see what happens. The disrespect to Novak. Oh my God, you're one of those crying fans that, like, if I don't, let's be realistic, as you said, right? I'm using your word. Realistically, Djokovic gets a set after he just played a 5-hour epic at 39 years old. Let's be realistic. You said realistic. You used that word. I was using your words. How is it disrespectful? I don't know. People sensitive. It's not disrespectful to say that Djokovic is the underdog against Sinner. That is just facts. Fact. It's not disrespectful. It's disrespectful to say that Djokovic is terrible at tennis. That's disrespectful, but that's not true. That's not true. And I don't think that either. At all. But to say that he's not the favorite against Sinner is not disrespectful. That's ridiculous. You're not using that word properly. What's the male version of a Karen? That's what you're being. All right? So don't be that. Extra day off for Novak is a blessing. That helps. It helps. It does help. I agree. The extra day off that helps. But does it take away the fact that he's 39 and he played a 5-hour match? No. But it does help having the extra day. I don't know if he trained today. I don't know what the situation was with his training today. If he did train or took a day off, I'm not sure. But we'll track his movements tomorrow. All those saying Nole shall stop. Why should he? He is top 4. It's amazing. Yeah, why would he stop? He shouldn't stop. Who's saying he should stop? No one's saying that. Nole is a god. He is. And look, and I've said this many times. If anybody's going to do something crazy, play 5 hours at 39 years old and then back it up against the world number 1 to beat him, it's going to be Djokovic, right? He's the only man that could do that. Nadal could probably do it back in his day, but right now, Djokovic is the only, no one else, if anybody's going to beat Jannik Sinner after what Djokovic just went through, it's him. He is him, right? I'm not giving him 0 chance by any stretch. I'm rooting for Sasha, player, and his caliber get disrespected too much. Sasha's got the serve to clearly play well on grass, as we've seen this week. Rooting for Nole, although it seems impossible. I don't think it's impossible for him to beat Sinner. I mean, I thought when he went into the Australian Open semi-final, I thought that was harder, and he did that. He came back from 2-1 down against Sinner at the Australian Open. And it was at night, so there was no heat, there was no nothing, right? And he beat Sinner legitimately from 2-1 down. And yes, he didn't play as much tennis before and all that kind of stuff. But in that match, we isolate that match. He did come back from 2-1 down against Sinner after not beating Sinner for so long and not winning a match against Sinner for so long. And Sinner, it was at night, so it wasn't a hot day. There was no reason why Sinner lost that match. He didn't, it wasn't like Sinner was compromised. So if you can do that, obviously Djokovic's going to like his chances anyway. He's going to back himself, but there's obviously factors if it's a hot day and blah, 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 blah. So yeah. There's definitely Djokovic having no chance is just, that's not true. He has a good chance. Does he have a great chance? No. But he has a chance. He has a good chance. If he won, it wouldn't be... Would it be that shocking? Depends how he won. He's still the underdog, though. I mean, 30% chance for Novak? Yeah, probably 70-30. Maybe, yeah, 70-30, 80-20. 80-20 seems a bit harsh. 70-30, yeah. Maybe a little... 75-25 seems... Yeah, he's got... Yeah. Yeah. 70-30. I feel like that's fair. Do you think Sinner can beat all-time record of Federer at Grand Slams? Which record? Do I think that he can beat Federer's 20 Grand Slam record? No. Not at this stage. It's too early way too early to talk about that. Don't write off Ferry. Yeah, look, he's come this far. Ferry's been great. All right, I'm gonna get out of here because I need to make some videos. But it's weird finishing stream this early. So weird finishing. And there's no World Cup on today, which I'm so pissed off at because I wanted to watch some bloody sports. Nothing on. Now, nothing on. Okay, so the schedule for tomorrow, let me just tell you what's going on. For the first match is going to be Muka versus Gauff. And then we've got Kostyuk taking on Noskova, which is going to be fun. What time are we starting tomorrow? We are starting at the same time as today. There you go. So we've got, same time as today, which has been... Probably the same for the men's matches as well. 1:30 p.m. local time. So I'll see you for that. 6 matches left. And then Wimbledon is in the books. But we've got Zverev taking on Ferry. We've got Djokovic Sinner. We've got Mukova Gauff. And we've got Noskova versus Kostyuk. That is the lineup. Zverev beats Fritz for the first time in 2 years. He takes him out in less than 2 hours. It's 4-4-2. And hopefully Fritz's knee's okay for the future matches or future tournaments coming up because he obviously has US Open Series coming up. You know, wants to do well at home. But, great win. Great win from Zverev to finally break that losing streak of 7 matches against this man. And he's into the semis of Wimbledon for the first time. I'll see you tomorrow.